Alrighty then. Cons F1. See if the stream's working okay. That's a Twitch ad. Equalizer 3, yeah. And the stream's definitely up and running. There's a bot doing its bot things because it's a bot. Come on, ad. Don't care about some movie. Just want to see if the audio is working as it should be. Game audio is working. The audio is working. Fantastic. Alright, stream's up, chat's up, we're all good to go. Shouldn't be too long, folks, before the start of this round of the championship. 17 drivers in the lobby. I don't think we'll be getting much more than that, if I recall attendance. Quickly have a look. Okay, we've got 5 reserves. Oh no, we should have a full grid for this thing. Oh, righto. That's good to see. Oh, you just... Cheers, Ricciardo. But as being the boss man, you kind of have to, eh? He's drive for 6 months in a row. What a champ. The big man himself. Alright, who are we missing? Mercedes and a McLaren. Alright. McLaren, one of them's here, Mr. Duval. Wingett is missing, that's McLaren. Who would be the Merc? Secure the perks, he's been swapped out. We have Mindset driving in the AlphaTauri. Oh, that's right, Vermeuve. Vermeuve's the other driver in the Mercedes. Completely just flew over my brain for a solid minute there. Trying to work out who was in the other Merc. Weirdly, they're not here yet. Vermeuve? Where is Vermeuve? Vermeuve is, quote, starting the game, according to the Discord. Okie dokie. Hopefully it won't take too long to get started. All the necessary stuff up. There we are. Hello, Deathstorm. How was my week? Not bad. Not bad this week. Commentary duty saw me doing a lot of races at Zandvoort this week. A lot of races at Zandvoort. It was kind of what you expect from the racetrack. You don't get a hell of a lot of side-by-side action. Although now with the DRS zone that goes right round the final corner as well as down the main straightaway, it gives greater opportunities for drivers to try and pass into turn 1. But other than that, it's usually a qualifying spectacle, and I got a fair few of those. Qualifying was very interesting to watch. But we had drama. That's something else that Zandvoort creates an abundance, is drama, action, chaos, that kind of stuff. Being a narrow, old-fashioned circuit. But all in all, it's been a pretty good week, and I'm looking to cap it all off here with AM1, and it's fantastic to note as well. We got a full grid! Look at that! That's fantastic. Just hoping no one DCs from the session, because I've noticed some new glitches in regards to people disconnecting and people retiring because of that. Well, it's not actually people retiring, the game retires them. So yeah, hopefully no one disconnects. Hopefully. If they do, we might have an unfortunate retirement. Probably explain that more as we head into the beginning of this round. Hello everyone and welcome to round 4 of the AM1 Championship here on Contest of Speed. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're competing at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Based in Austin, Texas, and designed by track-making Supremo Herman Tilke, Cota was constructed and first used in 2012 to try and rekindle the relationship between the United States and Formula One after the events of 2005. After hosting the USGP for over a decade, I'd say it's done its job pretty well. Cota is one of the more respected and well-liked Tilke drones in existence. Definitely one of the more technical ones too. The circuit measures up at 3.43 miles and consists of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of Turn 1 and Turn 12. There are other opportunities as well, heading into the hairpins of Turn 11 and Turn 15, but for the most part the overtaking will be done in the DRS zones. It features several signature technical sections, such as the opening high-speed S's, formed by turns 3 through 9, as well as the incredibly fast triple right-hander of turns 16, 17 and 18. It's a type of circuit where qualifying will be difficult to execute perfectly, with so many areas where a driver can invalidate a lap time. But before we touch more on that, there's a little bit of news to go through first from last week's race in Barcelona. There were several incident reports dished out, 4 as a matter of fact, but 3 of them resulted in no further action from the stewards. Only one came out with a penalty, and that was between Red Devil and Cam Tizzle. As a result from that, Red Devil was given a 5-second time penalty for the collision, as well as a 3-second time penalty for not showing footage. With the time penalties added up, Red Devil would move from P10 to P12, just outside of the points in the final results. In the Drivers' Championship, Vermeulen is leading the way for Mercedes-Benz on 54 points. The recently departed Barman 22 is still in second on 50. Silk Weaver rounds out the top 3 on 45 points, and he'll be looking to build on his consistency here at Cota. In the Constructors' Championship, it's Mercedes who is leading the way on 78 points, followed by AlphaTauri on 53 and McLaren on 50 points. That completes the top 3. But that's about it in terms of news on which to go through. We can now focus on this here qualifying session. One of the more interesting qualifying sessions you can face as a driver, because the time of day for qualifying is substantially different compared to the race, and you have to deal with that. You have to deal with a flashbang down the main straightaway, or down the longest straightaway down the racetrack. It's quite annoying, to be completely honest. Ever since I started league racing back in 2019, I've never liked having to deal with the sun being directly in my eyes, heading through the middle and final sector. Mr. Mindset here will be the first driver to attempt a flying lap. Right on board. Give you a tour of this 3.4 mile, 20 turn racetrack. Up the hill towards turn 1. It's a big braking zone here, bringing it down to 3rd gear, clipping the apex. Back on the power nice and gently. Head down the hill and around turn 2. Now into these infamous S's. The left of turn 3, the right of 4, the left of 5, the double right of turn 6. There's 2 apexes you need to hit here, and Mindset hits the pair of them. Around turn 7, into turn 8. We're now climbing up a small hill here as we head around the left of turn 9. We go down the hill through turn 10 and prepare ourselves for the braking zone at turn 11. Dropping it down to 3rd gear, missing the apex by about a foot or so. We exit in 3rd, we face the sun, we open DRS and head towards turn 12, which is probably the best overtaking spot on the racetrack. An entry speed of 201 miles an hour, bring it down to 3rd gear, clip the apex at 12, and head up towards turn 13. Drop it back down to 3rd gear, clip the apex, around turn 14 up towards turn 15, the left-hand hairpin. 3rd gear again, not bothering to use 2nd at all, just keeping it in 3rd. Now around the triple right, turn 16, turn 17, and around turn 18, up towards turn 19. The second to last corner, so easy to get it wrong through here. Mindset does no such thing. We head around the final corner, turn 20, to end the flying lap. The benchmark to beat is a 1 minute 33.3. A little weave. Is that an angry weave? Is that a frustrated weave? Was that a happy weave? I suppose we'll find out once everyone else does their lap times. Badfast is making his way through the final sector. He's on a flying lap as I speak. Enter the final corner, drop it down to third gear, get back on the power, and head up towards the line. The Aston Martin driver will go second fastest with a 33.9, 6.5 tenths down on Mindset's provisional pole time. Electric Blade jumps up to P2, Red Devil making his way through the middle sector S's out of turn 9 over the hill, down through turn 10 and towards turn 11. Bring it down to third gear, clip the apex, get back on the power nice and easy. Car looks stable as he exits the hairpin. His teammate Emmett is about to get ready to do a flying lap. Yes, he is. Making his way up towards turn 1. Definitely one of the most unique corners in the world of Formula 1. Reserve driver Raptors goes P4 with a 34.1. Vermeulen. It'll be interesting to see what this driver can do. He's making his way through the final 2 corners around the left-hander at turn 20 up towards the line. It's going to be a 32.344. Takes provisional pole away from Mindset. Fairly decent gap between the top 2. Silkweaver has invalidated this run, so it looks like he'll either do a preparation lap, as Mindset's retired from the session. Has he retired in the pit lane? He must have. His car's in pit lane. Interesting. I don't know why he's done that. It's very peculiar. Also peculiar that Silkweaver's still pushing on an invalidated lap. Maybe he just wants to understand where his car's at in terms of outright pace. Gives himself a neat little benchmark. Switchback has invalidated this run. He'll make his way back into the pits. He's on the medium tyre as well. I believe Nortec has just crossed the line to go third fastest with a 33.7. 2 corners left for Emmett. Turns 19 and 20. 5th gear up towards the final turn. We'll drop it down to third. Down to second. Exiting the left-hander up towards the line. It's a 34.5. 11th fastest on the board so far. Mr. Duval looking to improve substantially on his first lap. He's heading towards turn 11. Drops it down to third gear. Nice and gently on the accelerator, eventually reaching full throttle. He'll open DRS and head towards turn 12. Now we saw 201 miles an hour from Mindset earlier. The McLaren will reach 200 miles an hour, just one short of Mindset's top speed, heading into turn 12. Round 13 and 14. It's a tricky little complex this is. So easy to lose the back end of the car if you're not careful on the accelerator. Out to the hairpin at turn 15. Around the triple right-hander of 16, 17 and 18. Absolutely flat out the whole way round. Round turn 19. As I mentioned before, it's a tricky little corner, turn 19. It has a completely blind apex, so if you're not using racing line, you kind of have to guess where the inside of the corner is. It's not easy. It's very easy to miss the apex, understeer wide and invalidate your lap. Schulz does no such thing as he heads around the final corner now to end his first flying lap attempt. Just over 10 minutes left in qualifying. He jumps to P3 with a 33.5. 1.2 seconds off Vermeulen. 0.2 off Mindset. Silkweaver on a lap, it seems, does have traffic in front. That is a Alfa Romeo. It must be Zotic because Hunger is in the pits. Not using any battery though. So he must be coming back into pit lane. Yeah, he'll be coming back into pit lane. Just noticed the clock as well. Well down. Saint, can he challenge Vermeulen? Certainly gave him a headache back in Barcelona. Be looking to do the same here at Circuit of the Americas. Into the S as we go. 7th gear. The amount of speed you can carry through here is incredible. That was very nicely done there from Saint. That looked fast. It looked in control too. So we head up to turn 11. Down to third gear. Back on the power. The rumble from the Honda engine. The Honda Red Bull powertrain. Flying past the camera. Heading up towards turn 12. Entry speed of 203 miles an hour. So slightly less wing on that Red Bull. Got some good speed down that straightaway. Round turn 13, round 14. Up towards turn 15. Drops it down to second gear. Or the back end sliding a little bit out of the hairpin as we head around the triple right-hander. Flat out the whole way round. Exiting at 170 miles an hour. Down to fifth gear through 19. Keeping two wheels over the white line. Exiting the final corner, up towards the line for Saint. He goes to P2, 33.0. Still a long way off Vermou's provisional pole time. Switchback making his way round turn 11. Down the straightaway we go towards turn 12. Now Switchback, I noticed in the Discord, actually alluded to the fact that he took pole position the last time we were here. Feels like perhaps that he could replicate that here for this round of the championship. Making his way round turn 14 up towards 15. Drop it down to second gear. Short shifts up to third. Eventually reaches full throttle as we head around the triple right-hander. Absolutely spot on so far through this final sector. See, they're using the full width of the circuit through 19. Oh, too much of the circuit through turn 20, I'm afraid. Cross the line to set a 33.081. That would have put him second. But unfortunately, with that mistake at the final corner, that lap does not count. Wing It beginning a flying lap. Silk Weaver's getting ready as well. Well, Nortec, he's making his way around the final corner, getting ready for a run. Electric Blade is on a flying lap, making his way through turn 2. And into the S's we go. 3, 4, into 5. Then turn 6. You need an early apex and a late apex through that right-hander. Through turn 7, he's down by a tenth. Into turn 8, fourth gear. Modulating the throttle well through turn 9. Over the crest, down the hill through turn 10. Up towards turn 11 now. 7th gear. Drops it down to second. Short shift perhaps. Oh, the back end sliding out. Maybe he needed a short shift. He's going to get some help from his teammate though, Cam Tizzle. Slight slipstream here. Way more cooperation between these two teammates at Ferrari compared to the real life teammates. A lot more thought behind their game plan as well compared to the real life Ferrari team too. As we head up towards turn 15, from 5th gear we'll drop it down to second? No, just 3rd gear. Interesting. He used 2nd through turn 11, uses 3rd through turn 15. Very interesting. 2 corners left for Blade. Now with the help of Cam, should improve, I would think. Up towards the line for Electric Blade. Does indeed improve. P4 with that lap. 33.5. Sure, you'd be pretty happy with that. Red Devil jumps to P4 with a 33.2. Hunger just did a lap as well. 33.1. Silkweaver making his way through the middle sector. Onto the long back straightaway, heading towards turn 12. See the sun blinding it down towards turn 12. In fairness, it's not as bad in this game as it was in previous ones. It was a genuine flashbang down that straightaway that you had to deal with. It wasn't fun. Oh, big understeer there at turn 14. That would have cost him time. Didn't get any rotation through there. Didn't get a lot of rotation through 15 either. The AlphaTauri chassis not cooperating with Silkweaver at the moment. It does a bit, Deathstorm, to be fair. Looks like an atomic bomb went off in the distance. Up towards the line now for Silkweaver. He jumps to 4th place. 33.2. Just 14 thousandths in front of Red Devil in P5. Wingett has invalidated this lap, and he doesn't have a lot of time left on the clock. Only 4 minutes left. Outlaps and inlaps around this racetrack do take a long time, so I have a feeling, unless Wingett stays out, he won't be able to do another lap. He's low on fuel, so he can't do another lap. He'll have to come in. Yep. Yeah, he's going to be in trouble. I wish I could see how much time we have left in qualifying if it weren't for a stupid yellow flag indicator. 3.5 minutes. It's going to be tight with time. That's the little things, folks. Codemasters can't get the little things right. And sometimes they can't get the big things right. Because I've noticed after the most recent update, there's a glitch that can happen. That if a driver can somehow DC from the lobby, the game will retire their car the moment they glitch out. I've seen it happen on a few occasions now. It's not good, and that's why I said earlier I hope everyone stays in the lobby, because if they don't, there's a real chance the game might retire their car and they won't be able to keep racing even if they rejoin the session. Jules, while I was talking about that, it's coming towards the end of a flying lap. He was up by a considerable amount in the middle sector. He's looking at either a low 33 or a high 32. He'll cross the line to set a 33.099 P3 for the Mercedes driver. The Moo getting ready for a flying lap here. I ride on board. See if he can improve on that 32.3. Onto the main straightaway we go. With just over 2 minutes left in qualifying, Moo will begin what should be his final flying lap attempt. Into turn 1. Down to third gear. Clipping the apex. Getting back on the power. Down the hill. Round turn 2. Fifth gear. Sixth gear. Up into 7th. Through turn 3. Into turn 4. Then the left of 5. Then the double right of 6. Up towards the first sector split. The clock says he's up by 7/100ths of a second. Down to third gear through turn 8. Up to 4th through 9. Up and over the crest, down the hill through turn 10. As we head towards the braking zone of turn 11. Hard on the brakes, down to third gear. Clipping the apex. Or sliding the car. But good control means he wouldn't have lost too much time with that little mistake. Up towards the braking zone at turn 12. There is traffic making their way through the final sector. Hard on the brakes. A bit of rotation quite early in the corner. Oh, loses the back end as well. Throws away the lap there at turn 12. The back end not cooperating. And he's probably a bit frustrated with that one. I would be too. He'll make his way back into the pits. Probably retire from the session as he loops it in front of traffic. Hopefully this doesn't disqualify him, because it can do that if he drives backwards far enough. Schul's slowing down. He's making his way back into pit lane. Alright, Saint. Down to you. Around the final corner and down the main straightaway, he'll begin his final flying lap attempt. The likelihood of him taking pole position is quite low, considering the margin between himself and Vermoo. But it's not impossible. See if he can string the lap together. Down the hill, he'll make his way around turn 2 and into the opening sector S's. Flying through 7th gear. Bit of a lift through turn 6. As Vermoo does indeed retire from the session. Saint is up by 1.5 tenths to the first sector. Hunger is up by 5 thousandths himself. He's just behind Saint, so we might keep our eyes on these two. Up towards the hairpin at turn 11. Drops it down to second gear. A short shift. No, he runs wide. He understeers wide into the grass. He got absolutely no rotation through the hairpin. Red Devil jumps to P... Sorry, that was Electric Blade jumping up to P7 with a 33.2. Saint should be down, surely. He is by 51 thousandths of a second. What about Hunger in the Oh, Alfa Romeo, he's invalidated his final runs. Everyone's throwing it away at the final stages of this qualifying session. Bad Fast jumps to P4, but Red Devil's on a pretty neat lap here. He might look at a high 32. He might be starting on the front row here at Cota. Out to turn 15, got just enough rotation to get round the corner. We head around the triple right-hander at 16, 17 and 18. Round turn 19, the penultimate turn, up towards the final corner. That is turn 20, dropping it down to third gear. Back on the power, up towards the line. It is indeed second place for Red Devil. A fine end to his qualifying session, a 32.8. You'd be happy with that, especially after what happened in Barcelona. There we go. Qualifying should be over. Everyone's in pit lane or across the finish line. It's Vermu who will start from pole position for this US Grand Prix. There we are. Oh, that is a truly bright sun. Glad it'll be gone for the race. So, results from qualifying. Vermu will start from pole position, half a second in front of Red Devil in P2. He'd be happy with that. His best qualifying of the season so far. He'll start on the front row. Saint P3, followed by Schulz in 4th. Then we have Bad Fast rounding out the top 5. Hunger P6, followed by Silk Weaver, Electric Blade, The Future, and Mindset, who retired in the early stages of qualifying. He will start P10. Nortec P11, Switchback in 12th. Followed by Cam Tizzle, Mr. Duval, Raptors, Zotic, Emmett, Warren, Kryptonic down in 19th, and Wingett, unable to put a lap together, will start from the very back of the grid in 20th place. Race time here in Texas. Is it going to give us any rain? Question? Overcast. Overcast. Alright. Yeah, not spinning Death Storm is a good strategy that I would try and follow in the races. It's amazing how much time you can gain just keeping it clean out there. Trying to minimize mistakes, because races can get quite chaotic from time to time. Sometimes cooler heads prevail. Alright, drivers will be fine tuning their setups, their strategies, the fuel load, you know the deal. Get ready for the start of this race here at Cota. Yeah, I hope so too, Matty. Should be fun. Formation lap time. I don't do many of these nowadays. A lot of leagues have formation lap turned off. So it's nice to have a formation lap and see who's doing what in terms of strategy. Well, there's not much variation if I'm being totally honest. Okay, we'll run through the order. We have Vermu starting from pole position. He's on the medium compound tyre. Red Devil is doing the same from P2. So is Saint in P3, Schulz in P4, and Bad Fast in P5. The top 5 starting on the mediums. Hunger in P6 is the first driver to start on the hard compound tyre. Silkweaver in P7 is starting on the softs. An interesting choice from him. Then the following, how many cars? About 8 cars. Electric Blade, P8. The Future, P9. Mindset in the wall, P10. Nortec, P11. Switchback in 12th. Cam Tizzle in 13th. Duval in 14th. And Raptors in 15th. They're all starting on the mediums. Zotic is starting on the hard tyre. Emmett is starting on the mediums. We have Warren starting on the hards, Kryptonic on the softs, interesting, from 19th place, and Wingett from the back on the mediums. So, We got some interesting strategies, particularly with Kryptonic on the soft tyre in 19th. I'll be curious to see how well he does at the start. It's been a while since I've done a race here at Cota. I've no idea if the soft tyre is useful at all. In previous games, it definitely wasn't useful. You had major issues trying to maintain tyre temperature with the soft tyres. They'd always overheat. So, yeah, 23 is a different game though. It's a completely different kettle of fish. So, maybe the soft tyres can work. But for the most part, everyone's on the mediums. Minus 5 cars. So we can get rid of this for a bit. Get ready for the start of the Grand Prix, I suppose. Now, Vermeer will be starting on the racing line, heading towards turn 1. Which means if Devil gets a better start, he'll have the inside line heading into the opening left-hand hairpin. Might be able to take the lead, but he needs to nail the start. Vermeer's lined up. Silkweaver disqualifies himself. So does Mr. Duval. Get ready for lights out. Rightio. Everyone's lined up, ready to race. We got 28 laps in front of us here at Circuit of the Americas. 10 red lights. We're underway here in Austin. It's a nice start from Vermeer. It's a nice start from Devil as well as we head up the hill towards turn 1. It should be Vermeer that leads. Side by side between Saint and Schulz. Saint goes around the outside to try and take third. He does. He moves into P3. Schulz, P4, followed by Bad Fast. Hunger on the hard tyres, maintaining 6th place. Not a bad start from him. Side-by-side action between Nortec and Weaver as we head around turn 6. Running wide is Hunger in the Alfa Romeo. He doesn't cost himself any positions though. Contact! Around goes Mindset. Into the barrier he goes. And he drops down to last place. Vermeer leads. Red Devil in 2nd. Saint 3rd. The future is out. And we have a safety car. So a collision towards the back of the field. Where is he? There he is. On the outside of turn 9. Don't know if he's done that by himself. Usually in the opening lap sort of scuffles, if there's an incident, you usually don't do it by yourself. I have a feeling he was helped. Alright. Press pause on this race for just a little bit. The top 6 have actually held position. Everyone else behind. Big shuffling. As a matter of fact, the driver who's made the most amount of places out of anybody is Emmett in the Williams. From P17, he's up to P12. Mr. Duval has made up 4. Kryptonic's made up 4. Biggest loser Mindset with his collision with Silkweaver. He drops down to 19th place. Sometimes Harris drama is just unavoidable on the first lap of a race. Silkweaver is into pit lane. Interesting. Why is he doing that? Damage, perhaps? No. Well, he's on the soft tyre, so he can mess around with strategy a bit. He's going on to hards. Honestly, that's not what I would have done in that particular situation. Now, depending on how good the hard tyre is, this might be a good strat. What I would have done is chuck on the mediums and do 2 medium stints from here to the end of the race. Because everyone else in front of you has to make a pit stop anyway. So, you know. Well, some people have to race around on the hard tyres. You can just chuck on the mediums and do 2 stints absolutely flat out on them, if you can make it work. But of course, with this game, sometimes a hard tyre is a really, really good race tyre. Maybe Silkweaver can get it right with this. I don't know if he'll be able to go to the end of the race though. It's a long, long stint from here to the checkered flag. It's an interesting strategy call nonetheless. Be fascinating to see if it works out for him. Now obviously Mindset had to make a pit stop. He's on hard compound tyres. He's got a new front wing on the car as well. Well, I suppose the mindset you got to have is just keep your head down and try and move forward. You can't fall any further backwards than where you already are. So, It's good to see that the interval is all wonky as well at the top of the board. Hopefully that fixes itself at the beginning of lap 3. No. It's a drama. That is expected. Only 2 drivers making a stop during this safety car period. Most of being the AlphaTauris, the future, out on the first lap. It is a shame. There's a tyre situation, so everyone on medium and hards, except for Kryptonic. He is still on the soft tyres he started on. So he's fully committed to trying to create a stint on those soft tyres. And what do you know, the intervals have stopped being wonky. That's good. They're all working as they should. Well, this should be the final lap behind the safety car, as the future has left the session. Fair enough, from his point of view. No point hanging around. Actually, this is one of the things I'm not really a fan of with Cota. It's not necessarily the track's fault, it's its length. With it being so long, safety car periods take forever. This is very noticeable at a track like Marina Bay or Spa. They take an eternity to get through. There's really not much more to talk about other than what we've already discussed. So suppose we wait until the game brings back the safety car and we can get back underway. Safety car light should go out here, so long as Vermouth doesn't fall too far behind, which he currently is at the moment. There we go. So Vermouth will now back up the field. He drives as patiently as he wants to. He's driving very, very patiently at the moment. And none of that changing position down there. I see you two, Zotic and Cam. Stop that. It only freaks the game out. McLaren lag took you out of the race. That's unfortunate, man. Sorry about that. Sometimes those things are just unavoidable. Can't do much about it. Especially on the opening lap when everyone's bunched up. Vermouth floors it. Holy mackerel. Around the penultimate turn and up towards the final corner. Vermouth's done, well, put together a pretty decent restart if I'm being honest. He's got 8 tenths in hand already. To begin lap 4 of 28 here at Circuit of the Americas. Red Devil maintaining P2. Saint P3, Schulz P4. No behind any sort of position to attack into turn 1. So we'll keep our eyes on the leaders for now. Might get rid of this just to improve the viewing space. Through the S's we go. Driving at the deal with the dirty air coming off the cars in front. It's not too noticeable in F123, but it's definitely there. You have to be mindful of it. Up the hill, round turn 8, into turn 9. Down the hill, round 10, towards 11. Vermouth starting to build up that margins. 1 second now between himself and P2. We head down the straightaway towards turn 12. Now, Hogan's going to be a bit of a cork in the bottle for those behind. He's on the hard compound tyre. The 5 cars behind him are on medium, so they're going to try and find a way through. At the moment, Blade can't do it. He's still behind the Alfa Romeo. Needs to utilise the grip given from those mediums. Try and find a way through. Wingett gets by Raptors. That was for P16. Raptors gets him back. What's going on here? Side-by-side action as we head into turn 15. Round the outside goes the Alpine. Wingett trying to keep the fight alive. He'll fly right round the outside here at the triple right-hander. Raptors is not giving up on this little scrap here. And he gets in front. Well, Credit where credit is due, I suppose. That's a neat little scrap there for 16th. And we got Silkweaver and Mindset right behind. Mindset's going to go for position here, down the inside. Oh, almost gets Wing It as well. Oh, it's tight at the exit as we head around turn 2. Up towards the S's now. These guys need to be careful. Both Alpha Tauris find a way through. Wing It down to 19th place as Zotic gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Here's your race leader. 1.9 seconds is the gap between him and Red Devil in P2. Then we have Saint, Schulz, Bad Fast rounds out to 5. And then, ooh, we've got a McLaren all over the place. That is Mr. Duval. I reckon he was in 78 different dimensions there out of turn 11. But somehow he keeps it on the racetrack. Well, he's having a look at Switchback too. Had a brief look down the inside. Didn't fully commit to the move though. Some action here through turn 12. Cam gets in front of Kryptonic. Kryptonic having a bit of a look down the inside but not fully committing at turn 13. Stays behind the Ferrari who has a poor exit. Cam under pressure here. Kryptonic looking left and right but can't find a way through as Raptors and Silkweaver. Oh, this is the exact same from a lap ago. Battling away. Electric Blade in trouble off the racetrack. Slows down to let Emmett through to avoid contact. He slots himself in P11, so a moment for the Ferrari driver, dropping him all the way down to P11. Fallen to within the clutches of Zotic. Closes in. Down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Not by enough though. Yellow's out. Who's it for? Around is a fair few drivers from the looks of things. It's Switchback in the Aston Martin at the centre of it all. Drops all the way down to 18th position as a result. He's got a broken front wing too. He has to do an entire lap with that broken wing before he can try and repair it. Wing It tries to get by. Oh, battles everywhere at the moment, man. This is going to be a headache to keep a track of. Silkweaver gets in front of Raptors. Oh, a bit of a moment as well for Warren there at turn 9. Keeps it on the racetrack. Running wide is Mindset. And he drops all the way back to behind Switchback. He's down to last. What? Schulz gets by Saint. This is very confusing. Now Bad Fast is closing in. Hunger's still in this too on those hard tyres. Evidently, they're not too bad. White ring compound. Not too bad. Down the inside. Oh, contact! And around goes Kryptonic. He and Emmett came together at 12. And Kryptonic drops down to last. Now the field punches up. I think there was contact there between Warren and Wing It. Wing It's backed up. And now Switchback's looking around the outside. Heading up towards 16, 17 and 18. Silkweaver gets by Mr. Duval. Kryptonic gets by Mindset. It drops down to last. What is going on? There's action everywhere. Duval's in. Switchback will follow suit. Here comes Wing It on Warren. Drag race up the hill towards turn 1. Wow, that McLaren's got some straight line speed. It breezed past quite easily as Mindset retires from the session. Well, he's had enough. We're down to 18. Very weird. What isn't weird is Vermouth out in front. As that's why the lobby was lagging. Mindset left the session. It sort of made the lobby hiccup there just a little bit. But Vermouth's out in front, leading the way. Zotic, what did you do? He's around. He's in the middle of the racetrack. He's off the racetrack. He rejoins the racetrack. He's down to 16th position. Excuse me. Vermouth out in front, leading the way. Holy mackerel. That cough has really screwed up my vocals. Wow. Okay. 2.7 seconds is the gap between Vermouth and Red Devil. Devil losing ground to Vermouth. Excuse me, folks. Gee whiz. Something... Yeah. Something was in the back of my throat. That wasn't fun to deal with. As I was saying, Vermeer was extending the margin. It's now sitting comfortably at 2.7. Now starting to extend a little bit again. But at the moment, yeah, Vermeer's got this covered. He's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Let's try and pull away. Keep his eyes forward. Try and keep mistakes to a minimum. Saint, under a bit of pressure. He's got Bad Fast and Hunger right behind. So we head down the hill, heading towards turn 11. Bad Fast, yeah, can't do anything just yet. He's not close enough to try and find a way through. And Hunger, as I've mentioned before, he's in a pretty decent position here on these hard tyres. Looking comfortable, looking pacey. Bad Fast gets by Saint. That's for P4. Tidy overtake. And no real counter-attack from Saint either. Didn't have the momentum to try and counter. Silkweaver getting by Blade. That's for P8. Tidy overtake there. Raptors revving the daylights out of that Renault engine. That's probably just an audio glitch. It's always an audio glitch with Codemaster games. Up towards the final corner. Ooh, I thought Nortec was having a bit of a look there. Switchback gets by Mr. Duval for 17th position. Down this main straightaway, we begin lap 9 of 28. We've still got a long way to go here, folks. Nowhere near the checkered flag. Nowhere near the halfway mark, even. As we head down the hill towards turn 2. Nortec looks racy on those medium compound tyres. All over the back of the Alfa Romeo, just unable to find a way through. Round turn 6. Now towards turn 7. Gap sits at 3.5 tenths. Switchback sets the new fastest lap on those fresh tyres of his. 36.978 is his lap time. Round turn number 11. Gee whiz, Nortec, huge slide coming out of 11. Loses time. Won't be able to battle Nortec here. Saint closes in. Backs off though, you could hear that. Backed off quite a bit. Doesn't want to battle Bad Fast just yet. In the middle sector we go. Still overcast here, folks, too. As you can see. Well, they hint of blue sky anyway. Round 16, 17 and 18 we go. Looks like the top 3 are pretty well set in stone at the moment. Vermeer, Devil and Schulz have got a comfortable margin back to this group of cars. Saint pits in though, and he takes out the Paul Bollard as well. At pit lane entry. So he'll move on to the hard compound tyre, obviously. He's going to go for an undercut. Oh, he's also got front wing damage. Interesting. So that explains a little bit. Well, Saint's got a lot of work to do. You can't think about the podium now unless there's a safety car. Just try and get as many positions as you can with what you've got. That's all you can do. Leaves the pits in 16th position. He's got a fair amount of work to do. Rest of the field, though, at this point is pretty well spread out. We've got this battle, though, between Kryptonic and Warren. Make our way through turn 6. Kryptonic on those soft tyres. 14th position. I mean, he's moved up the field, but he hasn't made huge gains with that soft tyre. Round turn 11. Back on the power. Just notice as well, the gap has shrunk between Vermeer and Red Devils. Now down to 2.2 seconds. 2.1, 2.2. So Vermeer make a mistake while I wasn't watching, as Saint gets by Zotic. Warren down the Kryptonic down the inside of Warren. Warren fighting back down the inside here at turn 13 and through 14. Gets back in front of the Haas, who doesn't go for a counter-attack at turn 15. He stays behind. Bit of a wiggle there. Now Saint's closing in on fresh tyres. Electric Blade is into pit lane, so he'll be moving on to a set of hard tyres. There we are. Away he leaves. Alright, down the main straightaway we go. Heading up the hill towards turn 1. Bit of moving and shaking there. Out of the opening corner. Down the hill towards turn 2. Saint closing in on Kryptonic. Round the outside. How do you like that? That's grip. That is better grip. Right there. Demonstrated perfectly. Oh, Kryptonic was very wide. Very, very wide at turn 7. He loses time. Warren. Oh, Warren. Gee whiz. He looked very loose. He almost makes contact as well there. Saint almost got into him. Exiting turn 10. Gee whiz. That was close. Wiggle there from Zotic as well. Some drivers got some really loose race cars out there. There towards turn 12. Warren with DRS, but he can't close in by enough, and he doesn't really want to attack his teammate. He's on a different strategy altogether. Thank you for the follow. Well, Owen, thank you very much. And so, Popper. Oh, no, when a race is dull, when I'm not fully paying attention to what's happening in the race, I'm looking at what people are saying in chat. Vermoo gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Cam Tizzle is coming in. He'll be moving on to the hards. Yeah. Kind of what you expect. Kryptonic's still going along on those tyres. He's not mucking around. He wants to get a real proper stint out of them as Saint gets by Emmett. That's for P9. Yeah, usually when I get fully invested in these races, I have no idea what chat is saying. I have no idea at all. And from this aerial camera, you can really pick up the curb audio quite well. You can hear that rumble make their way over the curbs. Must say as well, this is a really cool aerial shot. Looking down at the racetrack. It's a pretty cool piece of racetrack. Like, it's a blatant copycat attempt to Maggots and Beckett's from Silverstone, but it's got its own unique levels of character. There's also some elevation change right at the end of the S's that create a level of uniqueness as Kryptonic and Blade get by Warren. Blade on fresh tyres, so he'll be hoping to get by these two as soon as possible. Switchback is battling Cam at the moment too. Switchback loses control of the car and almost puts it into the wall and drops down to 17th position. Shields is into the pits. Yellows are out. That was for Switchback going slowly. So Shields moving on to the hard tyre. He might find some clear traffic as well. Now Kryptonic, does he finally pit? He does. Blade sees that. Stays on the racing line. Doesn't do anything silly. Moving front. Next car in front is Emmett. Oh, Zotic. Gee whiz, mate. Still weaving about. We head up towards turn 1. Where's Schulz? P7 he is. 9 seconds behind Silkweaver. And Silkweaver pitted right on the opening lap to move on to those hard tyres. Schulz will close in though at a fairly rapid rate. With all that clear air in front of him, he can just get his head down and get on with the job. Emmett now has Blade directly behind. Might see a pass here for 10th position. DRS open on the Ferrari in the slipstream. Pulls out of it, looks to the inside. Emmett sort of half covered. A little bit of contact there between the two cars. You can tell with with Blade's AI chucking his hand up into the air. Yeah, just a slight bit of contact between those two. Alright, Bad Fast and Nortec are in. Wingett's under pressure. He's got Saint on the back of him. Does Wingett pit? Yes, he does. He doesn't make a serious move over to the left, though, so Saint might have been caught off guard by that just a little bit. Ooh, Bad Fast comes out. There's Saint into turn 1. So Saint gets in front. He's on older tyres. He's low on battery too. You can tell from the flashing red light. 6% battery to be exact. Bad Fast on 32. So a fairly considerable difference between these two. Yellows are out. Who's that? Duval again? Might be. He's going quite slowly here. Raptors is closing in. Alpine goes around the outside of turn 3. Bit of cooperation there between those two to get that sorted. Yeah, a bit of drama here and there. Bit of drama. Out in front, though, with a comfortable margin in hand is Vermeulen. He does have a time penalty next to his name, so he needs to pray to the gods that he doesn't get a safety car that bunches the field up again. Does he finally pit, though? We're at the halfway mark. There we go. He pits. Brings it in. Pulls it up. The speed limiter board is missing there, so you do have to be quite careful. Hard tyres at the ready. Red Devil will take the lead, at least for a little while. Hunga will move into P2. Silkweaver. P3. Yes, P3. Then Vermeulen. You can see Schulz just in the corner of screen. Vermeulen will come out in front, though, by 2 seconds. And with those fresh tyres, be able to get the hammer down. Set some pretty competitive lap times. Catch up to, most importantly, Silkweaver, who can, with accordance to the rules, make it to the end of the race without making a pit stop. Whether or not the game will allow him to do that is a whole other question entirely. Because it all depends on how much life those hard tyres have left. Over to this, we got a train of cars. Raptor, Zotic, and Mr. Duval. Switchback closes in on this battle as well, so we got a bit of a train forming here. Battling for 13th position, bit of a wiggle. And here comes Duval, closing in on the Alfa Romeo. Wingett's just behind as well. Oh, big slide there from Duval. Keeps it under control, though. Warren closing in on Emmett, Cam Tizzle on the pair of them. He looks down the inside, Mr. Tizzle. Contact, 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 but they all get through just about. Cam on the racing line. He'll be looking to go right round the outside. He does indeed go right round the outside. And he moves into P10. But yeah, a bit clumsy 3-wide action there at turn 12. But they got it sorted, just about. As Red Devil pits onto the softs. Oh, I don't know about that decision if I'm being totally honest. I don't know about that one. Those soft tyres will be good, but I don't think they're going to be electric in this final stage of the race. Alright, Vermeulen, what do you got? Yellows are out. It is Mr. Duval around at the final corner. It's pointed back in a straight line. No, he puts it into the wall, is what he's done. Debris on the main straightaway. Hunga gets a 3-second time penalty. We're going to see a change in position here. Vermeulen takes the lead. What a surprise. Silkweaver down to second place. Schulz in third. And we have Satan Badfast drag racing towards turn 12. And with the help of DRS, Badfast wins that quite easily. He moves to fourth. The Red Devils closing in. Those soft tyres are going to be really good for about 5 laps, I'm going to guess. But after that point, they're probably going to fall off a cliff. Side-by-side action for 12th place. Raptors down the inside here. They make wheel-to-wheel contact. And the Alpine gets in front. Moves to 12th. At least we got some action down here. Be nice to have it towards the front end of the field, but it's nice to have battles nonetheless. Hopefully we're doing better than a regular F1 broadcast where we just ignore those battles. I'd like to include them. Nice to watch. Down the inside, Sade just backs off. He says, mate, I don't want anything to do with you. Move through. I'm just surviving. Devil's next target will be Bad Fast in the Aston Martin. Got to admit as well, that overcut didn't really work out for Devil. He's actually a fair chunk behind where I think he should be. Hopefully this doesn't screwy-worry the stream. I'm going to have a look at Red Devil. What did he do for that pit stop? Did he have a front wing change? No, that was just a regular stop. 3 seconds, so a bit longer than you normally expect. Yeah, he's lost a substantial amount of time to Schulz. He was in front of Schulz before the pit stops. Now well behind. He's up to 4th now. Nortec gets by Saint. Saint on those older tyres just doesn't have the grip. Does not have the grip. Duval retires in the pit lane. We're down to 17 machines left on the racetrack. Wing it round the outside at turn 12. Gets in front of Raptors. Warren on the back of this as well. If we have any more drama, this will turn into a point-scoring position battle as well. They're just outside the points. Our last point scorer is currently Cam Tizzle. He's got a healthy gap to the cars behind. Got a healthy gap to the cars in front, so he can just chill out. Score a point. Score a point is better than scoring nothing. Switch back. It's a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Now, Red Devil, 4.5 seconds he has to close in on Silkweaver. Now, if he was on the mediums, I'd say this is a pretty easy job. Oh, is that why you're that far back? Oh, look. Oh, yeah, that's an AI. You can very easily tell that an AI is in control when you look at the inputs. They are anything but human. Well, harmless, yeah. It's always frustrating when there's no backup invites to try and get yourself back into the lobby. Yeah, I didn't quite pick up on that, Evan. Well, Hunger's left the session. I picked up on that. Hopefully he can find a way back in. Warren gets a 3-second time penalty. You can see from the inputs. That's an AI. Ain't this game great sometimes? It's just great. 2.8 seconds is the gap. Back to this topic with Red Devil. He's on the soft compound tyre. They're going to have a lot of pace right here, right now. But towards the end of the race, I just don't think they're going to be that great. To be honest, I don't think they're going to be any better compared to Silkweaver's tyres. He's done 14 extra laps. So, it's going to be an interesting little dynamic between these two. Because they both won't have great tyres by the end of this race. I mean, if Bad Fast plays his cards right, he might be on for a podium. Might. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. Again, I love this aerial shot. Get down at the racetrack. Warren pits in as well. He'll be moving on to a set of softs. No, a set of mediums. Interesting. Well, they'll definitely make it without a shadow of doubt. They're going to make it. Thought at this distance, might as well say, screw it, go on the soft tyres, see what they do. Yeah. Anyway. Side battle between Kryptonic and Zotic for 13th position. Kryptonic should be able to find a way by quite easily here. The help of DRS. DRS is so powerful in this game. Here goes Kryptonic. Zotic can do nothing. He moves into 13th position. Doubt he's going to find his way into the points. But you never know. You honestly never know. So Devil moves on to the podium. This was only inevitable, but I've still got my... I'm still doubting how good those tyres are going to be by the end of the race. If he can hang on to P3, he'd be pretty happy with that. And I'm just curious to see how good those tyres are going to be at the end. Oh, the gaps have well and truly spread out now. And in front, Vermeulen, 6.5 seconds in hand as Mr. Duval has now left the session. Ugh, bit of lag there. But this is Vermeulen's race to win right here. He knows it. Just needs to drive on point, not make any mistakes. Should be an easy victory at this point. Jules won't have anything in response. He's got older tyres. He's got more battery, but that age difference on the tyres really does make a difference. The only thing that might break things open is if Vermeulen gets another time penalty. He's currently on 3. Hunger on 3 as well. I wonder if he's rejoined the session, out of curiosity. No. So yeah, he's been unable to get back in looking at this. Zotic with 9, Switchback with 3, Warren with 3 as well. So yeah, a few drivers with time penalties. To be totally honest with you, that's a lot less than I was expecting. Cota, there's a fair few areas where you can get time penalties. Yeah, sorry mate. Yeah, I thought backup invites would have been sent, but evidently not. Yeah, no, you did a great job with those mediums. Great job with the hard tyre to begin with, keeping up with the leaders. Evidently, it proved to be not such a bad race tyre for Cota. No, you were in a decent position. In fact, your AI is still soldiering on out there in 7th place. So it's doing a pretty decent job. Sate on old tyres. He'll be alright. Same with Blade. P9. The likelihood is your AI could still finish inside the top 10 at this rate. And Bad Fast closing in on Silkweaver. Might have a battle on here. No DRS just yet for the Aston Martin driver. Closes in, but not by enough into turn 1. Down the hill and around turn 2. Running low on battery as well. See what I can do. Don't know if I have... Well... This is a the comms account, so I have absolutely no idea who's friends on this and who isn't. Yeah, this is gonna take forever to try and see. Yeah, no, didn't think so. Yeah, I think at this point, because backup invites aren't being sent, Silkweaver and Badfuss are now battling for position. Nice piece of timing. Badfuss on the grippier tyre can't quite find a way through. He stays behind the Alpha Tauri. Can't do it here through the final sector. Yeah, I think at this point everyone needs to be friends with the comms account. That way, when people drop out, I'm probably going to have to invite you fellas back in. So as the AI pits, well, there you go. Ain't that just a damn shame? Could easily make it to the end on those tyres, but the game decides, you know what, these tyres are no good, we need fresh ones, so there we go. Outside of the points. And can't help but be frustrating. Half a second separating these two. Badfar should find a way through. Would have an easier job of things if he had more battery. Fortunately, he doesn't have a hell of a lot in reserve. He closes in, down the back straight away, but not by enough to attack Silk Weaver in his 4th place, and as a result, Nortec's right on the back of this too. So we've got a 3-car train battling for 4th position. And with this ongoing, Red Devil should be able to pull away, giving him greater chance to hang on to that final podium spot. Back to this, shall we? Round turn 19, the penultimate corner up towards turn 20. See the flashing red light on the back of Silkweaver's car, so he's within that 10% range. Badfast is not better. Kryptonic gets by switchback, that's for 13th. As we head up the hill towards turn 1. Badfast close, but not close enough to go for a move. He stays behind for now. That's a penalty situation. We're within 5 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas. And plenty of drama here and there. Some frustrations too. Wingett gets by Hunger. Yeah, as expected. Even on the soft tyre, the AI is just no good. And the back straight away towards turn number 12. To the inside. Gets in front. Tidy overtake. That's for P4. Silkweaver moves down to 5th place on those old tyres. Now has Nortec closing in, who's got a fair amount of battery. He's been saving up. A little bit wide there. Around 16, 17 and 18. See what Nortec can do. Can he find a way through? Going to be tricky for him because Silkweaver still has DRS. Nortec's got some straight line speed in this Alpine though. Looks, darts it in down the inside. Does he have the traction to stay alongside? He does, as Silkweaver almost crashes into him. The AlphaTauri driver now moves down to 6th position as a result. The AI is still putting up a fight. It's not giving up. Oh, he's making contact with Wingett. What the? Off the racetrack. Huh. I guess the AI isn't screwing around. Ain't it what? That was something. Sure, Winger was none too impressed by it. AI is not giving up. Winger defends, Hunger moves through. The AI is fighting for a 10th place finish. It's not giving up. Sector 2 yellows. What's happened? It's Kryptonic. He's around. He's in the wall. It's going again. Here comes Zodic. Move on through. Oh, as the AI, it's been dropped down to 12th. Passed by Raptors and Wingett. So Raptors takes 2 for 1 at turn 12. Saint gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and he's in He's within 3 seconds of Electric Blade, so he might lose a position. Here's your race leader. 2.5 laps to go. Here at Cota, not going to lie, this has been one of the more dull races I think I've ever done here at Cota. Typically it provides a fair chunk of action, but yeah, this one been on a bit of a back burner. We've had moments and sort of peaks in this race, peaks of drama and interest, but all in all it's been a pretty straightforward event. See the gaps, they're all pretty well spread out. We're set for the battle for P10. It ain't done. Got Raptors winging in the AI. Still fighting away on those soft tyres. It's not giving up. What will the AI do? It darts to the inside. Dive it in, AI. It does! You're kidding. Winger moves down to 12. DRS open. AI defending. Now if ghosting were turned on, this would make things a little bit easier. Oh! That's a move that you do on the AI, they see you coming. Leave you plenty of space. The Moon now has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Not that it matters, he's got 9.5 seconds in hand. Yellows are out, it's Zotic. It's pointing back in the right direction. But yeah, for Vermoon. 1.5 laps left to get through. Complete a very tidy, near faultless drive if it weren't for those 6 seconds worth of penalties. Wouldn't be playing around like that either. Schulz will close in. Saint gets by Silkweaver. That is for P6. Alrighty. Around the final corner. Back onto the main straightaway. It's now the final lap here at Cota. He's just mucking around at the moment, sliding the car about. There's Schulz in P2. Distant P2. Just one more victory lap tour for our championship leader. Be looking to go back to back. Seems that everything else has been pretty well sorted except for that final point scoring spot. Raptors is not giving up on this one. You'll have DRS. He doesn't have a lot of battery, neither does Wing It. As we head up the hill towards turn 1. Raptors with DRS open, closes the gap. Wing It defends the inside. Around the outside goes Raptors to try and get in front. Down the hill and around turn 2. It's tight. Real tight. Good battling between these guys. Raptors trying to stay alongside, just can't do it. Wing It stays in front. But is that what he wants? He's going to give DRS to Raptors. Heading down the back straight away. Meanwhile, only 2 corners left for Vermoo. A tidy drive. And it'll be rewarded with victory. Pole position to victory lane. Vermoo goes back to back. He wins the US Grand Prix. Schulz will come home in 2nd position, making this a Mercedes-Benz 1-2. Red Devil will indeed finish on the podium in 3rd position. His first podium of the season, if I'm not mistaken. It is. There we are. Into a long race here at Cota. And who ends up finishing in 10th? Well, it's not Raptors. He found drama. Drops all the way down to 14th. And that's an AI behind the wheel as well. Did he DC or did he rage quit? Not sure. But it'll be Wingit who will finish in the final point scoring spot. That is P10. There we are. Not the most incredible event you have ever seen here at Circuit of the Americas, but an event nonetheless. Good drive here from Vermeer. Put his car on pole position. Led almost every lap. Yeah. Very tidy drive from him. And Schulz, with the 6 seconds that Vermeer got in terms of penalties, finishes 2.8 seconds behind his teammate. Wingit given driver of the day, starting from dead last, finishing inside the top 10. Fair play. Time for the podium celebrations. Well, a 1-2 for Mercedes. Vermeer wins, Schulz second. Red Devil, his first podium of the season, a P3 finish. The unofficial results then of the United States Grand Prix. Vermeer was your race winner, claiming fastest lap as well. So full complement of points for our championship leader, and his teammate Schulz finishes P2. A great day for Mercedes. Red Devil completing the podium places in P3. Just outside of those places we have Badfast in P4, followed by Nortec, who moved up from 11th to finish in the top 5. And we have Electric Blade P6, followed by Saint and 7th. Silkweaver P8, followed by Cantizzle, and Wingit will end up scoring the final point after starting from 20th. He finishes 10th. Hunger's bad luck results in him finishing P11. Switchback at 12th, Warren 13th, followed by Raptors, Emmett, Kryptonic, and Zotic. Our retirements from the race, Mr. Duval, Mindset, and the Future. We started with 20, we finished with 17. All of them on the lead lap. And our winner today, Vermeer, goes back-to-back, winning in Barcelona and here in Texas. Yeah, this race is sort of a reminder that this is indeed Formula One. You get boring races from time to time, even in the world of league racing. We had moments, as I mentioned. There was a few overtakes, a few bits of drama here and there, but for the most part the race was fairly straightforward, and you know what, you get those every so often. Can always keep your hopes up and hope that next week prove to be a bit more exciting. But for now, folks, I think it's time to wrap up another stream. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I've been Lane Everingham, and we'll see you next week for round 5 of the AM1 Championship at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. Definitely one of the more dramatic circuits included on the Formula 1 schedule. Track limit penalties are going to play a huge factor in Montreal. It's going to be quite interesting. Until next time though, it's goodbye.